Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. On tap is what should be a pretty good matchup between the Washington Redskins and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. With that, let's head over to Raymond James Stadium in Tampa for the call of this one. We bring in our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And we're about 5 miles northwest of downtown Tampa at beautiful Raymond James Stadium near Florida's Gulf Coast. Just a short time ago, the Buccaneers emerging from their tunnel to the roar of this frenzied crowd here in the Sunshine State. And we're in the big ship, and fittingly, everyone here ready to do battle as Tampa Bay gets ready to match up with the Washington Redskins. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Buccaneer ball club. They've been playing their best football of the year, winners of 4 in a row.
And it's the defense that's really the star of the show. A terrific game last week. They got a shutout on the road. And that's something that doesn't happen very often nowadays.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Redskins, they're halfway home, looking good at a perfect 8-0.
And not much.
The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out comes the Redskins offense now onto the field. And leading them, Charles, their quarterback, their field general.
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on, we know he's not bad at this, but his footwork, always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here.
And what was so funny, what the offensive coordinator say right off the top, he's got great footwork. Love his footwork. So this guy is never satisfied.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Right back to him on 1st down. Pushing him away.
Popped it right out there.
Evades the tackler, and now some space. Touchdown, Washington. A big play there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Redskins have taken a first-quarter lead. You talk about explosion plays. Here's one pretty much right out of the gate.
And now they get to ride a wave of emotion, momentum, everything. Just as you described, right out of the gate. Big sprint, touchdown. They're excited. But on the other side, they've got to guard against a major letdown because they hit them right in the gut with that one. And now you start to question yourself a little bit when you give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
Hopkins with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards later, into the end zone. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Now it's Adam Humphries on the return. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. And we get a glance here at their leader, the man who will be calling the plays under center.
It's pretty much become the norm when we see guys come out before a game and go through the route tree with their receivers. I thought it was exciting for us to see the exact same thing happen in practice.
He's so meticulous, isn't he?
He really is, and that tells me it's not just a one-time-a-week thing. They work on it all the time, trying to hone that fine edge. They want to see if they can get in sync and stay in sync in this one.
Taylor, and they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. And And we get a glance now at the Buccaneer offense.
And Deshaun Jackson is the guy that your eyes naturally gravitate towards because he's a big play waiting to happen. In his career, he usually averages about 20 yards a catch. Last season in 2017, closer to 13 yards per catch. Look for him to be recommitted to getting back downfield and catching the long ball.
Now a give to Taylor. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5. And here is the Redskin defense.
At corner is Josh Norman. I would think he would want to quibble a little bit. Actually, you know Josh would have a full discussion with the metrics people who say that maybe he's not the elite lockdown corner he thinks he is. He would say, ask all the receivers in the NFC East. They would think differently because a day against Josh Norman is a very difficult day for any receiver.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Taylor. He finds Humphreys. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series. He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd down, here's Taylor. Evans has it left side. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
So a 3rd and 9 and 6 defensive backs out there in the dime.
Patrolling the passing lanes.
All right, here we go. Green.
Out of the gun, it's Taylor. And that is incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. Back deep is Tyreek Hill. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
A gain of 3, 2nd down. And here a look at the offensive starters for the Redskins.
Jordan Reed's coming off of an injury-plagued season that set him back and held him to just 6 games, and Washington's definitely hoping he can get back to his 2016 Pro Bowl form. That made him one of the most dangerous tight ends in the game, and in fact, when he runs routes, it's often equated to a basketball player with a great crossover move. A lot of guys just can't stick with him.
Now Taylor to throw on 2nd down. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Richardson. And they're able to get this way down there inside the Tampa 20. A huge play there for Washington. 42 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. A look at the Buccaneers starters now on defense. They were very strong last week in the win over Carolina.
Yeah, they pitched a shutout in that game, didn't they? And those don't come around all that often in the NFL. The ability to keep someone out of the end zone and also from kicking one through the post. Well done.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
On 2nd down, Taylor. His pass caught at the 4. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. The numbers for Hill a week ago. 9 catches, 108 yards.
And I'd certainly expect them to use him quite a bit because he runs excellent routes, has good hands, and knows how to get open.
And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Back live, Charles Davis to my right. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Redskin football to begin quarter number 2. And they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving. 2nd and goal from the 6 this time.
Now let's go. Blue 90.
Now it's Taylor. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Redskins are going to add on to their lead. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. Now it's Hopkins to add the extra point. Extra point good by Hopkins. And it's now 14-0. A drive that time of 6 plays. And the result, a touchdown for Washington. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early. Probably not very deep into their script. I think they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On the handoff, this is Taylor. And he'll get this one up to the 26. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and set them down.
Breaks the tackle, he's got room to run. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big 3rd down conversion with a gain of 28. In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And down inside the 40 to about the 38. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground.
That's the way to hit. Here we go now.
Off the play fake, here's Taylor. And this one caught by Cameron Braid. And he's going to get this inside the 30. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
They go play action here on first down. He hits Rodgers in the flat. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Tampa after this timeout. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
To throw on second down, Taylor looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. He was trying to find Deshaun Jackson that time, and now it's 3rd down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. On 3rd down, Taylor. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down.
Well, it's been a tough go for them. These guys have been driving down the field. But defensively, once they got their backs to the goal line, turned up the pressure, that's going to lead to a 4th down. Well played.
And Catanzaro's kick is right through. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
Fielded about a yard deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's in his zone, 2nd quarter, already closing in on a 100-yard game.
And that's the magic number for a running back. Anytime you get to that triple digits, that's all you're looking for. But he's got a chance to really exceed that in this one.
Yeah, he does. That's been the gold standard for a long time, hasn't it, that 100-yard mark?
It really has, and that never has to shift because it's in a game. It's a 1,000-yard mark. I'm wondering, since we've gone from 12 to 14 to 16 games, maybe we need to up that a little. Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. 2nd and 10 now from the 27. 2nd and 10, it's Taylor again. And Hill with it over the middle. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
12 more yards there and another first down. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. They'll throw on first down with Taylor. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Green 39! Green 39!
To throw is Taylor. To throw again. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play, as we'll get a timeout. As they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
Here we go now. 3-19! 3-19!
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. And now the Bucs deciding to take a timeout defensively, as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. So on 4th down, the Redskins will call on Tress Way to punt it away. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Looking to throw on second down. Taylor. He's got the hook up here to Deshaun Jackson. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. Final play of the half. It's Taylor. Wide open receiver, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. So we have come upon halftime, and it's the visiting Redskins who have the lead here. As we toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you two in a minute, but first, let's take a spin around the NFL and see what's going on here in week number 10. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Redskins in a good spot. They've got the lead. They will get the football as the second half gets underway. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start in the third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Set, 3-19.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, second down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
They go to the ground again with Taylor. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. 8 yards on the run there, and that leaves him with third and just a couple.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
All right, here we go.
On third down, it's Taylor. So he fought off the tackle, and that effort gives him the first before he's brought down. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Sometimes with the running game, you just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Inside 4 minutes to go, third quarter.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll run it here. This is Rodgers. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it.
Set, blue 90.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Ryan Kerrigan in on the tackle.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
What's right? All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Now Taylor to throw on third down. This is caught by Jackson. And he's got this down to the 35. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10.
Four down. Now let's go.
Now Taylor on first down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The tight end Cameron Brate was the target. That'll bring up second down.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just one target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target in the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him.
It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone. Left side here, that's complete to Godwin. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time, and a first down.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball?
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
They run with Taylor. And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
Back to the ground, this time with Jones. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Tampa. It's Buccaneer football, but they've got work to do. They find themselves behind here to start the fourth quarter. The Bucs on third down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This time it's 3rd and 3.
Here we go. 3-19.
Now Taylor. And that is caught by Jackson for a Buccaneer touchdown. Deshaun Jackson scoring a touchdown against his former mates. And the Bucs have made this a 1-score game. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
So a big play coming now for the Bucs as they'll go for 2.
Set. 3-19.
From the gun, it's Taylor. And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out.
Holding. Offense.
So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
The backup Rob Kelly, his first carry. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Kendall Beckwith on the stop. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Here's Taylor to throw on 2nd down. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here. Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
And he gets this down deep into Tampa Bay territory. It's a big play there for the Redskins on 3rd down. 55 yards.
All right, here we go. 319! 319!
And they'll run it here. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. M.J. Stewart made the tackle from his corner spot.
So many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bring up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. But from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field.
All right, here we go. Green 39! Green 39!
Throwing now, Taylor on 1st down. And his throw here is incomplete. The intended receiver that time, Adam Humphries. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it, when you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame. This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
Now let's go. Green 39!
Now Taylor. And Brake, the tight end's got it. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Blue 90! Blue 90!
To throw again is Taylor. Right side caught by Jackson. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47.
All right, here we go. 319!
Throwing again, it's Taylor. He gets it to Humphries. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. Clock running. The Bucs try to go quickly and get set. They'll look to throw. He dumps it underneath for Taylor. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Call it a pickup of 7, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1. He'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Cameron Brate, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bucs are within a 2-point conversion of tying us up.
The touchdown is huge, but the focus now is on the 2-point play. I don't want to say they have a cushion here, but if they don't get it, they still have a chance for onside kick.
Yeah, they would need some big-time help, but you're right. There would be a shot, but the focus right now on that 2-point conversion. Here we go now as we get set for a big 2-point conversion.
All right, here we go.
Back to throw. And it's caught. And with it, we are tied here in the 4th. Huge conversion there to tie this thing up, but they're not done yet. Their defense needs to get a stop.
Yeah, there's still plenty of time for the other team to come downfield and put some points on the board, but job 1 was taken care of. The 2-point conversion to get this thing tied.
Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild 4th quarter. This is taken at the 3. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. They need to get this around the 40 to have a chance to win it in regulation. From the 40, it's a 57-yard field goal, so that gives you a gauge.
And all they're trying to do now is pick up yardage in good chunks and get out of bounds to stop the clock. If they end up running a play and get tackled in bounds, they're worried the clock may run out on them and finish the game.
And they'll have to be careful how they handle this. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his 2nd catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him. And what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their 3rd corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
Clock's under a minute. Still plenty of time, partner. They have all 3 timeout.
That means they have plenty of options in their play calling and where they target on the field. They can throw it downfield, maybe even in the middle, and use their timeouts.
Flushed out right. That's out to Hill, right side complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. And now the Bucs deciding to take a timeout defensively, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds left to go. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10.
Now let's go. Blue, line it.
Throwing now is Taylor, forced out to his left. Smith catches left side. He takes it to the 15. A nice display of power. That gives him a nice pickup. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
It drives some people crazy to see those short throws underneath. They've got to find a way to gash the defense downfield.
Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. Now it's Taylor, eluding the pressure right. And this is going to be caught. He got it. It's a touchdown. Forget overtime. They're going to win the football game right now.
And that score in this time frame, that's like a big reveal at the end of a great movie, isn't it? Out of nowhere, almost, it appears, they get it done. How about that score?
Finishes like this is why we love sports. This is why we love the game of football.
So glad that we got to be here to watch this one.
So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it was polished off by a Redskin touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go now. 3-19.
He's back to throw. And he can't hang on to it. That would have sealed it. Instead, second down. So after all of this, it comes down to one final play.
And just think of what it's going to be, because from this distance, you got to be prepared for everything. Hook and laterals, tip balls, you name it. A lot of laterals after a catch. Just got to be prepared, stay on your feet defensively, and tackle someone.
Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for the Redskins, the train just keeps rolling. 9-0 now to start this campaign. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Houston Texans. Meanwhile, for the Buccaneers, they'll lose an important one here as that drops them to 5-4 on the season. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to MetLife Stadium to take on the New York Giants. So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. With that, we say so long from Tampa.